He came, he got the money, and then he said, all right, I went upstairs. I actually did not see him leave.
That's what Susan Sutton told police about the last time she saw Sam Johnson alive. It was a lie. What really happened? She watched her boyfriend shoot Sam 6 times while he begged for his life, but Susan wasn't the mastermind. That was her sister, Vanessa Cameron. Vanessa had already torched her own house for $300,000 in insurance money. Now she wanted Sam's life insurance, $750,000. And she convinced 3 people to do the killing while she sat in Mississippi, building the perfect alibi. This is how a mother turned her child's father into a payday. This is how family became executioners. Sam Johnson's body was found in a San Antonio cemetery on January 17, 2010. 6 bullet wounds, no identification, just another corpse dumped where nobody would look too close. When police tracked down who Sam was, they found Erica Bridgeforth, his pregnant fiancée. She told them Sam had gone to pick up money from his ex, Vanessa Cameron. Money Vanessa supposedly owed him from when she burned down their house and collected $300,000 in insurance. The house fire that destroyed everything Sam owned? Vanessa said it. Then she kept every penny of the insurance money, while Sam had to start over with nothing. After the fire, Vanessa moved in with her sister, Susan. Susan lived with her boyfriend, BJ Brown, and his cousin, Lakeisha. Vanessa became their meal ticket, paying rent, buying groceries, covering bills. They needed her money, and she needed them to do something for her. See, Sam had a life insurance policy, $750,000 for his son. If Sam died, Vanessa would control it all. But first, she needed him dead. By January 2010, Vanessa's insurance money was running out. Time for Plan B. She started planting ideas, telling Susan, BJ, and Lakeisha that Sam beat women, that he was dangerous, that he deserved whatever happened to him. None of them had ever seen Sam hurt anyone, but Vanessa kept pushing. She bought them things, paid their bills, made them dependent on her money. Then she made her move. She booked a flight to Mississippi to visit a friend, creating an alibi for January 12th. Before she left, she told Sam she'd finally give him some of the money she owed, $340. Not much, but enough to get him to show up at Susan's house. What Sam didn't know? Vanessa had given Susan money to buy a gun. The plan was simple. When Sam showed up on Wednesday night to get his money, Lakeisha would hit him with a 2x4. They'd tie him up, drive him somewhere remote, and BJ would pull the trigger. Susan would stay upstairs, keeping her hands clean. Vanessa would be in Mississippi when the call came that Sam was missing. $750,000, split 4 ways. All they had to do was murder a father while his killer relaxed in another state. If this case grabs you, hit the like button, share your take in the comments, and tap subscribe with the bell so you never miss the next episode of Deranged Women. January 12th, Sam drove Vanessa and their son to the airport. She kissed him goodbye, knowing it was the last time. She boarded that plane, knowing that by the time she landed, the father of her child would be dead. But murder is messy, and scared people talk. Wednesday, January 13th, 7 o'clock. Sam Johnson knocked on Susan's door thinking he was picking up money. Instead, he walked into an ambush. BJ answered the door and called Susan downstairs. Everything seemed normal. Susan handed Sam an envelope with $340. He started counting it right there in the living room. That's when Lakeisha swung the 2x4. The board connected with the back of Sam's head, but Lakeisha was already moving. She'd promised Vanessa she'd do this. They'd all been promised money. "Don't kill me, BJ! Don't kill me!" Sam knew what was happening now. BJ had handcuffs ready. Where do you even get handcuffs for something like this? They wrestled Sam down, cuffed him, and he kept begging. Lakeisha grabbed duct tape and sealed his mouth shut. Here's where the story gets even darker. They dragged Sam to his own car, stuffed him in his own trunk. BJ drove Sam's vehicle while Lakeisha followed in another car. Susan stayed behind to start cleaning up the blood. They drove to Seguin, about 35 miles from San Antonio. When they popped that trunk, Sam was still alive. BJ pulled out the gun, the one Vanessa's money had purchased. 6 shots, not 1 or 2 in a panic, 6. BJ made sure Sam was dead. Then they had to clean up. They drove Sam's body to a cemetery and dumped it like trash, hid his car at an abandoned gas station, went back to the house where Susan had already started ripping up the carpet. The blood had soaked through. They cut out the stained section, bundled it up with Sam's body earlier. Lakeisha burned her clothes. BJ burned his. While all this was happening, the murder, the cleanup, the cover-up, Vanessa was in Mississippi, drinking with friends, playing cards, creating witnesses who would swear she was hundreds of miles away when Sam died. 4 days passed before anyone found Sam's body. When that police officer discovered him in the cemetery, Sam had no identification, just a corpse with 6 bullet holes and no story. But bodies tell tales. The medical examiner determined Sam had been shot somewhere else and dumped. Police started working backwards. Who was this man? Who wanted him dead? They found Erica first, 8 months pregnant and wondering why her fiancé hadn't come home. She gave them Vanessa's name immediately, told them about the insurance, money from the house fire, about Sam going to pick up cash from Susan's place, about how Vanessa had finally agreed to share some money right before flying to Mississippi. The timing was too convenient. Police waited for Vanessa to return from her trip. Then they brought her in for questioning.
The tickets on the 11th.
Okay, so you bought tickets on the 11th to go see your friend?
Yes.
Okay, and who's that?
Adrian.
Okay.
My friend
tickets.
Adrian. Mm-hmm.
And where does she live?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Tell me how did you find out about this then? Because you left on the 12th, and so how did you get word of all this happening?
Vanessa explains that while she was in Mississippi, Sam went missing, so she tried to contact him, but she was unable to. She even asked her sister Susan to message Sam, but she was unable to reach him as well.
But Sue said she hadn't heard from him and she just assumed he had been found.
Right.
Okay, that's the gist of it.
That's right.
Okay.
And I sent him a text. It was like 6 in the morning. I said, hey, we're fixing to leave Mississippi. Then when I got into Atlanta, hey, we're here. Then when we left Atlanta, we're leaving, and there was just nothing. So by the time I touched down, I was just like, okay, we have to find Sam. And you know how many times I've called the police and how many times he comes and basically says I'm crazy, that he's just been hanging out or he was fine. And we are, separated. We are separated, so he doesn't have to call me. Erica called me yesterday asking me to do a release on his body. And that's when she said, we're engaged to be married and I have his baby on the way. She told me that she had the last letter he's ever wrote, stating that I don't know what the letter stated, but basically she was telling me that he had told her that they were done, that they were going to be together. And I told her, I said, well, Sam never showed that to me. The last letter I got, of course, was on Tuesday before he left, which is him saying he wants us to be together and he's getting the apartment so we can have a roof over our heads. And she's just kind of been holding on to him. She's strange to me. She's strange. It's like she wants a relationship with him and then he just gives her just a little bit and then she'll accept that. And I'm just like, Sam did not care for this girl. And really, we have to put it out there. I think she had something to do with this. I really, really think she did. Sam...
Okay, and what makes you think that Erica had something to do with this?
Because...
Why is it you suspect her?
Because, like I said, I think that she is obsessed with Sam. For someone to go on this long, their relationship was over, I know for sure, in 2007.
Again, so how is it you...
why
do you suspect her? What is it that...
Now she's all of a sudden in the picture. She's saying that she is his fiance, which is completely ridiculous. When she told me on the phone that she was having a baby, this thing really tore Sam up. Basically, I can't have children anymore. And Sam was tore up about it. He promised me he would not have any more kids. And I believe that she told him she was pregnant, and he told her that he didn't want that baby. I truly believe that.
Vanessa tells the detective that she believes Erica had something to do with Sam's death. What she doesn't know is that Erica has already been interviewed by the police, and she provided them with a very strong alibi. The conversation moves on to the money Vanessa gave Sam through her sister Susan after he dropped her off at the airport.
Do you know what time he went over there?
Sue said it's 7 o'clock.
Okay, Sue said 7 p.m. he went over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he got the money and you never heard anything about it?
I never heard anything. I can't even remember if I sent him a text message or anything. We talked at about 11 on Wednesday. Okay. And I told him, we did a lot of drinking this week with my girlfriend. So I was all, we were playing cards with my girls. So I, kind of got loud with him and told him, like, how you gonna go all day? You done got this money from me, and then you gonna go all day without letting, without actually talking to me or nothing like that. And I was like, you know what, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
And that was the last conversation we had.
Okay. So I just need to ask you, because you understand, it's still a homicide investigation, right, and he is dead. And right. So I'm going to have to talk to, my partner's talking to Sue, so we just need to verify, that you have the same story. You last saw him Tuesday when he drops you off, and then Sue last saw him Wednesday picking up money.
Right.
Okay. And then how about Bernard? Did he see him on Wednesday when he dropped him off?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go ask my partner just to talk to and make sure that Sue and you statements are just, copacetic, coincide. And then I'm going to come right back and then we're good?
Okay.
The detective leaves the room while she waits for her partner to finish up with Susan.
And Vanessa? She played it perfectly at first. Concerned ex-girlfriend, worried mother, solid. So they turned their attention to the last place Sam was seen alive, Susan's house. Time to bring in the whole crew. Susan came in nervous, fidgeting, talking about her mental health issues. The detectives could smell fear on her. When they asked about the money handoff, her story matched Vanessa's exactly, too exactly, like they'd rehearsed it. The detective decided to try something, a bluff. She told Susan that Vanessa was in another room, confessing that BJ and Lakeisha had killed Sam, that there was blood all over the living room, that they'd cut out carpet and rolled Sam up in it. Susan's face changed. No, she didn't. She didn't say that. But the detective kept pushing, and Susan started to crack. You could see it happening the moment she realized Vanessa had set them all up.
The detective spent the first 35 minutes talking to Susan about Vanessa and Sam's relationship. Eventually, the conversation changes to the day Vanessa told Susan to give Sam some money.
And then he was supposed to pick up some money that she was wiring to him.
She had told me she had told him that she was wiring it. Vanessa always gives me money. I either have a credit card or she takes money out, and I've always got it. I keep it in a safe, whatever, for anything that we need or to get done, whatever. So she had left money there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then so, she was just like, okay, well, I'm going to tell him to come and get the money. And I said, oh, okay, well, whatever. What do you want me to get? How much you want me to give him? And she said, give him $340. So, okay, well, tell him to call me.
Sam shows up.
Well, he calls from outside, and he says, hey, I'm outside. I said, ring the door, but knock on the door. I said, they're down there. I said, I'm coming down. And he was like, okay.
Upstairs.
Yeah, I was upstairs. I'm always in the bed. Anybody talks to you, Susan's always in the bed. Every once in a while, I'm downstairs, but everybody usually playing pool.
So you
especially
told him
my
to
husband
go
and
to
them.
the door? Okay.
I told him, he was already at the door because I heard him knocking. I'm like, okay, Sam, and I hung up the phone. So I went downstairs, I gave him the money.
It was cash?
It was cash. I gave him the $340, and then he just said, I was like, are you on your way to, when I said, what are you going to do now? And he was like, nothing. He was like, I'm getting ready to go home. He was like, I'm going to go ahead. I got to get up real early in the morning. He's like, I got to go take care of the apartment and stuff like that. And I said, okay. And then I told him to count the money. So he's counting the money. Yeah, so he came.
Out of the ordinary.
Yeah, he came, he got the money. And then he said, all right. I went upstairs. I actually did not see him leave. I'm nervous because I'm telling you
to be.
that I don't have, I go through different cycles in my life, with my head.
Did you murder Sam?
No.
Well, then you have nothing to be nervous about, do you?
No.
Okay, I mean, it comes down to that. It's that simple, Sue. Did you murder him?
No.
The same standards that your mama has for decency and taking care of people are the same standards that we have.
Right. My mom.
If you have no
she's assured us
involvement
that it
in
was
this
gonna-
case,
Yeah.
you have nothing to be worried about. You have nothing to be nervous about. All right?
The detective realizes that Susan appears very nervous, so she decides to try and bluff Susan. She's about to tell her that her sister Vanessa told the police that Susan's fiancé BJ Brown and BJ's cousin Lakeisha Brown called Vanessa while she was in Mississippi, claiming that they had just killed Sam by accident.
And again, I would ask you, you and your sister are, I mean, describe it for me, extremely close.
Yeah.
Often extremely close.
Yeah.
Because I want you to understand that I went and checked, because Vanessa's talking with Detective Bauer. And Vanessa's telling Detective Bauer that she received a phone call from BJ while she was at Adrian's house, where BJ told her that he had accidentally killed Sam.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't.
She said that BJ had accidentally killed Sam. She said there was blood all over your living room. She said you were upstairs and had nothing to do with it. That Keisha smacked him in the head with a 2x4. That BJ and Keisha had to cut a piece of carpet out of the house. And they rolled Sam up and put him in the trunk of his car. She's telling Detective Bauer where the car was dumped at an abandoned gas station over on the east side by Port. I'm telling you, girl, she's across the hall putting all of this on BJ.
Okay, I don't believe that. I'm ready. Can I go?
I told you when you came
Okay,
in.
I'm ready to go. Because I don't believe that. Thank you.
Do you think I'm making that up?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Because why would she? No.
Well, if you want to sit down,
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
All
I'm
right.
ready to go.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
The perfect alibi. The sister left holding the murder weapon, the insurance money that would never get split 4 ways because Vanessa was never planning to share. "You want to know what happened?" Susan finally said. "She asked us to do it. She gave us money for a gun. She said we'd all get paid when she got the insurance." Meanwhile, in another room, detectives were working Vanessa. They told her Susan was rolling over, giving up everything. Vanessa's response was cold, calculated. "If Sam's dead, I had nothing to do with it. I was in Mississippi." The interviews turned into a game of who would flip first. Susan broke completely, admitting she'd given Sam the money, then watched BJ shoot him. She revealed the house fire was arson. Vanessa had torched her own home for the insurance money. Vanessa backed into a corner, tried a different approach. She admitted she knew about the murder plan, but she claimed she never wanted it to happen, that Susan and BJ had taken her venting too seriously. "I just said it would be easier if he wasn't here," Vanessa told police. "I didn't mean kill him." Then she tried one more angle. She said she'd given them money for a gun, yes, but only because Sam had asked her to arrange his own death. He wanted to provide for his son through life insurance. The detectives almost laughed at that one. BJ never cracked. Through hours of interrogation, he stuck to his story. Sam came, got money, left. That's it. Even when detectives told him the women were blaming everything on him, BJ wouldn't budge. "I didn't kill nobody," he said. "My mama raised me better than that."
And I'm going to tell you that you have been implicated in this particular murder, okay? And I want to talk to you about it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Why is that crazy?
Because for one thing, I ain't got the guts to kill nobody.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Do you know anybody who has the guts to kill somebody?
Not that I know of, sir, honestly. I
Okay.
really don't.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's really not in my blood to kill anybody. My mom raised me up to don't be like that. You know, so that's not in my blood to do anything like that at all.
Okay. So you're telling me you got nothing to do with this?
I have nothing to do with it.
Now, before you start going down that road, I want to tell you that your common law wife, Sue, and her sister, Vanessa, they've been down here talking for about the last 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah, I know they called
You know?
told me that they had to come down here.
They told us a story, okay? They told us a story about what happened last Wednesday night at the house. Okay? Now tell me what you know about what happened at the house last Wednesday night.
Well, what I know, all right, Vanessa, she was in Mississippi.
Yes.
Okay. So, Sam supposed to came and got some money for an apartment.
Okay.
Okay. I guess he got a hold of my wife because I was downstairs playing pool.
Okay.
Me and my cousin Keisha. We was playing pool. She said Sam would be coming. When he knocks, let him in and call me. I'll come down. We hear a knock. I say, who is it? He said, Sam. Open the door. He comes in. I can say, baby. I say, Sam's down here. She comes down.
Now, when you said baby, who are you talking about?
Oh, Susan.
Susan.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I'm baby, wife.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I call Susan. She comes downstairs. She gives him an envelope. I don't know what's in the envelope. I don't know he's supposed to be getting an apartment.
Okay.
And so she gave him the envelope. Then at this moment, he pulls out the money. He's counting it.
Okay.
But I don't know how much she gave him. He just said, okay, I'm going. And he walked out. And he left.
Has Vanessa ever asked you to kill Sam?
No.
Has Vanessa ever asked Sue to kill Sam while you were present?
No. No, sir. Not at all.
Okay. Did you shoot Sam?
No. No.
Did your cousin Keisha shoot Sam?
No. Not at all, sir.
Okay. Well.
Over the course of the next 3 hours, 4 different detectives would try and get BJ to confess, but no matter how hard they tried, BJ's story remained the same.
Now, why am I being under arrest?
Because you were the one who shot and killed Sam.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well,
The question that we have, I understand. I don't care if you talk to us. I really don't. I'm here to decide what to charge you with.
You can't charge me with nothing. I have
Dude.
not done. No, look.
I can't?
I have not done nothing.
Really?
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm not asking you if you did it.
No,
I'm not
I
asking
don't
you.
care. I don't care. I'm telling you like I told you, I didn't do nothing. Sam bought me out of jail one time. Man,
And you know
come
what
on,
that tells
man.
me, BJ? Something horrible had to have happened to make you do what you
See?
did.
No, don't come here with that bullshit, man.
These women are not lying, baby.
How you know that?
All 3 of them told the same story.
How do you know
And
that?
tell me your story.
I told the dude my mother story.
It don't match anybody else's.
I don't give a f what they say. I know
Did Keisha
exactly.
come in here?
Man, I don't give a f about them right now.
Hope you enjoy jail, son, because that's where you're going. Now, and I'm going to tell you, look at me, because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to charge you with. I'm going to charge you with capital murder.
For something I didn't even do.
God darn it, I'm like that, you know what?
No, I don't. That's just. No,
It's just wrong,
that's
ain't it?
just y'all. But I'm saying, whatever they told y'all.
But the problem is, what you ain't understood yet, is the forensic evidence proves.
Yeah, but I have not done nothing.
Oh my God, so you just keep that up. You learned well. You
I
learned
from
well.
what I
Sure
learned
you did.
from.
Keep it up.
Well, I learned from.
Hang with that story. Hang with that story. Sometimes I enjoy losing. All right. Stand up, put your hands behind your back.
Despite never confessing, BJ was arrested and charged with capital murder.
Lakeisha was the last to be questioned. She started with a story about hitting Sam because he talked smart to her, but eventually admitted the truth. Vanessa had convinced them Sam was an abuser who beat women. They'd been promised money. She'd hit him with the board because BJ asked her to. They kept saying, "We're gonna get money, we're gonna get money," Lakeisha told police. Insurance money. All 4 were charged with capital murder. But here's where Vanessa's plan started eating itself. Prosecutors offered deals. Lakeisha and Susan could testify against Vanessa and get reduced sentences. They jumped at it. 20 years for Lakeisha, 25 for Susan. Better than lethal injection. At trial, Vanessa tried one last con. She stood before the jury and claimed Sam had begged her to arrange his death, that he wanted his son to have the insurance money, that this was somehow an act of love. The jury didn't buy it. 75 years. That's what orchestrating murder from another state gets you. But remember BJ? The one who never cracked? His lawyer painted a different picture. No physical evidence tied him to the scene, no confession, just the word of 3 women who'd already admitted to lying. 3 women who had every reason to pin it on someone else. The jury found him not guilty. BJ walked out of that courtroom a free man. Think about what Vanessa Cameron accomplished. She burned down her own house for money. She convinced 3 people to murder her child's father. She created an alibi hundreds of miles away while orchestrating every detail, all for $750,000 she'd never see. Her son lost his father. Her sister lost 25 years. 2 other people threw away their lives for promised money that never came. And Vanessa? She's got 7.5 decades to think about how her greed destroyed everyone around her. The most chilling part isn't the murder itself. It's how easily Vanessa manipulated people who trusted her, family, friends, people who depended on her. She turned them into weapons and pointed them at Sam Johnson. Some say BJ got away with murder. Others believe 3 desperate women tried to frame an innocent man when their scheme fell apart. But one thing's certain, when someone promises you money to kill, you're not getting rich. You're getting played. Vanessa Cameron wanted to be a puppet master. She ended up being the architect of her own destruction. And somewhere out there, a boy is growing up without his father because his mother saw dollar signs instead of a human life. That's the price of greed. That's what happens when you think you're smarter than everyone else. You might fool people for a while. You might even fool the police. But eventually, scared people talk. And when they do, your perfect plan becomes your perfect downfall. Remember, danger can wear a friendly face. Stay aware, look out for others, and reach out if you need help. See you in the next case on Deranged Women. Thanks for watching.